Hi everyone, in this video I want to talk about two different things. The first thing is my accessory work and some of my goals around that. So this is kind of a form-focused video, but it's just more or less a talk about the accessory work and my goals related to it. One of the things I want to work on related to my bench press is more tricep work, but also just more chest pressing work in general that isn't just bench pressing. I have a bad habit with all my lifting to just do the main lifts and then go home and not want to do other things with it. Because let's be honest, after I do 5 sets of squats with a heavy weight for myself, I don't really feel like going and doing tricep pushdowns or hack squats or some other lift. I want to just go home and eat. I'm pretty exhausted from that. So one of the ways I'm trying to get around that is to add additional days, so more frequency when I'm in the gym, and have days that are focused on those accessory movements and not included on days where I'm just going to be burnt out from doing deadlifts or squats or bench or whatever with that. I can have a day where I go in very similar to how I did on Sunday and just do a bunch of different accessory things and do more or less, I guess, a bodybuilding type workout, although I do a lot of 5-rep things, because one of the issues I had in the past is where any accessory work that I would do, it would be with like the 8 to 12 rep range in 3 or 4 sets, and that was my variance, was that 4 reps and maybe a set or two with the work that I was doing. But what I want to do now, and for instance I did this with the incline dumbbell presses I was doing I guess yesterday, since yesterday was Sunday, I worked up, it was to like 95 pounds for a set of 5 with it, and just to see if I could do it with a set of 5. So my goal with those is just to kind of continue to get stronger at those specific movements, and hopefully that will translate well to my main lifts, and it will provide more variance, so I'm able to kind of push my chest and shoulders and back and legs and whatnot in different ways that will allow my body to recover more actively, and to allow my body to not to get stuck in a rut of always doing bench and then getting beat up from that, or always doing one way of squats or one way of deadlifts or whatever it may be for whatever exercise. It allows me to do a variety of things and to build on my body in a different ways. Besides the fact that I'm tired from doing accessory work, another reason why I don't particularly like them is one of the side effects of doing a bodybuilding type work is that you build your body, you get muscle and stuff like that, and that's something that I don't really care about in the slightest. It's anything that I've gotten is the fact that I want to stay lean, and that's really about it. As long as I'm lean, I kind of have abs. That's about the extent of my bodybuilding or anything related to that, because for me it's more of a marker that I'm healthy and not really like, oh, I'm gonna go on a cover of Muscle Fitness magazine or anything random like that. But it's something that I have no motivation to do the accessory work, because I know that's one of the side effects, and I get so many dang comments about what was it today, I was told that or I was asked why I have a big booty. I said it was I told them to ask my mama, and I'm a teacher, and you can imagine how weird it is to hear that from students when they ask you random things like that. And I do get a lot of kind of like random comments like, oh, you look like you lift, you're pretty buff. I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of, it's not like I'm gonna get annoyed or get offended or anything like that, because honestly it takes a lot to really kind of like upset me or to offend me or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, it's kind of comfortable. It's kind of like someone came up to me like, hey, you're kind of pretty. Like, okay, I'm kind of really uncomfortable right now. Let's talk about something else. But I suppose that's one of the negative side effects of doing a bunch of accessory work. If only I knew how to speak into English, and I might be able to make pretty decent videos with that. But that's about it that I want to talk about with my accessory work. The last note that I'll leave on is one of the benefits of recording when I do accessory work is that it'll keep me accountable with focusing on my form. It's not as if when I turn off the camera that I'm half repping and ego lifting or doing anything like that. It's more or less when the video camera is on my form, I really try to make it, I really focus on trying to make it as perfect as I possibly can and focus less on the weight. And that's only going to benefit me in staying healthy, and to just not make sure that I'm actually getting the most out of the movements that I can. Because if I'm going to be doing accessory work, I want to be getting the most out of the dang lifts that I can, since I don't want to be doing them with it. But moving on from there, so I said there was two things that I wanted to talk about. The other thing is my water intake, and something that I've been trying for the last couple days, and something I plan to continue for the time being, and that's trying to drink a gallon of water a day. And now this isn't just a gallon straight of water. Like I mentioned earlier, I was making coffee, or I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. It might have been in a different take. Let's not talk about that. I'm drinking a gallon of water in every day. At least I'm trying to. But it's not just drinking from the gallon or drinking just pure water. I made coffee just now, and I used water in that, so I'm counting that towards my water intake. And if I don't know. I suppose that's probably the one thing that I make, or if I made tea, I guess, at my house, then that would count towards my water intake as well. And I don't generally, the first day that I tried it, I got probably 9/10 of the jug drank, but I had one of those shaker cups waters extra at the gym that I didn't use my jug to fill up with, so I probably was pretty even closer than what it appeared. And I also didn't use it for coffee or anything like that. So I don't know if that's a 100% accurate measure of my water intake, but I figure if I'm doing that, then I'm going to be pretty close to how much, a full gallon of water. And I'm finding, at least the last couple days, is that I'm feeling pretty hydrated. At least that's probably the least scientific way to approach it, but I noticed that before, and it was more of an issue at school because I get so caught up in what I'm doing there that I hit like 2 o'clock and I realized I hadn't drank any fluids for like 3 hours since I ate lunch. Or at lunch I just have like a cup of tea, and that's hardly any water, and I'm just like can't, like, my lips are really dry or something, and my throat is scratchy, and like basically like dehydrating myself because I'm focused on whatever I'm doing at school and not on staying actually hydrated a little bit. So I tried to do a little better job of that at school today, and it definitely helped at least make my lips and throat and whatnot feel a little better during the day with it. And I think I don't know how much of this is due to the water or just to the fact that I have a 3-day week this week, but it definitely felt like the day went a little bit better with it, and I had a little bit more energy throughout the day. So I'm sure the water couldn't have hurt. It probably, if anything, helped a little bit with that. So I definitely want to focus on that during the day, getting more water there, because that's where I have a bad habit of just blocking that part of my day off as far as nutrition or anything goes, so I don't think about it while I'm at school, and that means I don't think about drinking water much, but I want to change that and stay hydrated more. So I'm trying to do the little things with my lifting. I guess this is more or less the essence of this video, is I'm trying to do all the little things that I can to kind of maximize what I'm trying to do, and that's trying to get stronger with it. And there's it's not as if I'm trying to do anything crazy. I mean, drinking more water and doing accessory work isn't anything crazy or out of this world to do. It's just things that I should be doing consistently and should be doing all the time, and with it. And I hopefully doing things like that will benefit me in the long term, and allow me to recover and to build my weaknesses and do different things, and just to be a better lifter, because I suppose it will help my physique as well, but I could care less about that sort of thing. As long as I'm not getting too chubby, then I could, it doesn't really matter to me whether I'm 8% body fat or 15% body fat. And frankly, I have no idea what my body fat percentage is. My body fat percentage is I have abs, and that's it with it. But with that being said, I'll wrap up this video here. So if you have any thoughts or comments, please leave those down below. I apologize, this video kind of jumped around the place, and also, if like this lighting and the sound and everything that in this location really sucks, please let me know about that, and I can jump back into my living room. I'm just trying this because I can sit in this chair. It's a little bit more comfortable than my couch, so I'm a little bit more comfortable while I'm recording. But if it's really crappy video and sound and whatnot, then I can always do back in the living room. It ain't that big of a deal. There's bigger issues I have to deal with than where I sit for a YouTube video. But let me know about all of that down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.